Hello legends, how is everybody doing? Let's analyze the situation here for Bitcoin getting a little bit of a dip now. Make sure to destroy the like button if you do enjoy the content, the education, the levels, the technical analysis, the possible future setups, guys. Make sure to smash it up right away. That like button on your way in. I'm just going to go and say quick hello to the community, okay, and see what's going on, guys. Will we get that Friday dumpy into the weekend? It does look like that we attempted to have a move to the upside, but we failed throughout the last few hours, and we are getting a bit of a rejection right now. We are at crucial support that is going to be explained in this live stream, guys, so make sure to absolutely smash it up, that like button on your way in. Phantom, hello, how are you doing, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Let's put some background music here. Phantom, much love to you. 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗍cie, hi legends. Phantom, touch your screen. You can touch Andy's finger and you will get secret trading power. Let's go. 𝗬𝗫𝘅, Ethereum decided to pump anyway. Wow, yeah, Ethereum is doing pretty good. Hitting $4,000 today. It managed just about to get to $4,000. Very, very nice indeed. A little bit skeptical right now with Ethereum, okay? It has been rallying throughout the last few weeks and even few months like crazy, guys. It does look like a very solid, strong, impulsive move. Now the overall question is, we got the major rally, the retracement, another quite big rally, right? You know, how far can this go? Is it going to be an exponential breakout here from the 4,100 highs here that we did have from last year? Or is it going to be a five-wave structure? We're looking for that pullback and off to the races here throughout the end to the year, right? And break all-time highs, literally, right? Bitcoin. We're going to be analyzing here a little bit of the local structure. I want to talk about higher time frame scenarios, levels of importance that need to hold to maintain this bullish momentum. If we do break down very aggressively, we'll want to be cautious. There is a bearish case scenario that could be taking out these lows right over here. And it does look very interesting, guys. Okay, we could be losing a little bit of steam throughout the next coming weeks. All-time high is definitely expected. Okay, also in the next coming weeks, I am still remaining bullish on the higher time frame. I'm still holding 90% of my entire Bitcoin portfolio, only sold 10%. And we'll be discussing that throughout the live stream as well. But most important, the technical analysis. Say hello to the beautiful community, of course. First of all, Ghost of Bricks, hello, how are you doing, my man? Much love to you. Is probably going to tell us wave down like always. We've been actually quite bullish, right? If I'm not mistaken, throughout the last few days, right? We were looking for a reversal when we are hitting resistance, okay? But like always, I'm not sure. You probably missed out the last few streams, but we were quite bullish. We were looking for those highs at 115.8k to be hit and get that rally, okay? 217, 118, right? This is where we are getting this resistance at the moment. Now, we'll be focusing on the local time frame. We are getting the breakdown from the previous day point of control. This was actually something mentioned in the Legends Pro community. It was definitely a possibility to create a lower high over here, right? And I know some of you might have been following some channels that saying that we're forming a bullish pennant and we're going to break out here in Valhalla, right? You know, the technicals for me anyway did say that a lower high here was definitely a possibility, guys, right? And I guess you want to know why, because at the end of the day, this is an educational channel, right? I did mention this today in the Legends Pro community that there is a possibility in taking that rejection at this zone, the 7/8 Fibonacci and the golden pocket, okay? From the price action of today, it was the previous day value area high. Get that rally. It does look like it could be a finished structure. If you are interested in taking a long or a short, I prefer long from lower, which is going to be explained as we are getting the drop, okay? And if you are interested in a short, well, at the $117,200, we were, you know, speculating on that potential move down to get back down to the previous day value area low at 115.6k zone, okay? This was mentioned a few hours ago in the Legends Pro community, and you may ask yourself, you know, why this? You know, we're uptrending, aren't we? Isn't this bullish? Shouldn't we go to higher levels? You might have been seeing somebody talking about a bullish flag or whatever in this zone, okay? But Elliott wave theory does give you that edge of knowing that, yeah, this is potentially not a bullish pennant and we ain't going to break out here. And there is some big resistance that we want to take into consideration to take a short scalp, okay? Down to the lows. And if we break down the lows, then eventually we're looking for these lows right over here to be taken from yesterday. Now, on yesterday's stream, we did mention that the highest probability was actually getting that breakout to the upside. If we were to claim the lows of yesterday's little range, we possibly could form a triangle or a flat structure. Probabilities were to get that move to the upside. We actually had a little bit of a trappy zone here, okay? Maybe some of you did get a little bit trapped. This is the danger of the triangle. If you are speculating in getting into a triangle breakout, which was the one that we mentioned yesterday, you prefer getting inside at the lows, right? Try and get out inside of the higher lows, because if you're attempting the breakout at the highs, well, this is literally a long liquidation. Lots of people being very bullish about this bullish pennant, and you might come up with these crazy ideas and these crazy targets that a lot of people do show throughout YouTube. And yeah, we got the lows first and then we pumped. That is the zone that you want to be interested in taking the long at the lows, and you want to get out at the highs, right? Not enter a long position at the highs, because market makers will get you out of the market, right? Just as we can see here with this little flash move to the downside, which was the general idea of potentially forming that flat and getting a move to the upside, as explained on yesterday's video. The probabilities were to actually get that breakout. But if you're longing the lows on the triangle, or you actually looking for that swing failure pattern, ABC flat, and then getting the move to the upside, right? So this was literally just a liquidation grab. I hope that is, it's on the chart, guys. It is explained in detail on how you need to manage here the movement up to take profits at the highs as you break out, right? And you want to long here the A, B, C, D, E, right? This was the possible E wave, because we did have a movement down, move up, move down, move up, and move down. You want to try and get into the higher low, have tight stop loss, get out at the highs, be protective. If you come back down, we are still looking for that breakout. The main reason why we're looking for that breakout, because with the grind that we had on yesterday, boom, 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 right, multiple 1-2s here, the big 3 breakout, you're still speculating that this is a 4th wave and you want that 5th wave to the upside. Right, you are looking for that movement up. You are looking for another rally to take out 117K. Okay, just realizing that the highest probability from this consolidation that we had yesterday was getting another move up, right? Probabilities taking out those highs are very, very high. And the main reason why is because it's extremely unlikely that you do get a movement up here in a 3-wave structure to finish the high, right? This for this movement here to finish the high here, yeah, it's just extremely rare. If you get a 3-wave move up after this correction to finish the high here, you are looking for those highs to be tested and possibly broken out. So what we were speculating here is in that possible 1, 2, 3, 4, either an A, B, C flat. Stay cautious. You could wick the low, which did happen, and then we got the rally, right? So just a little bit of explanation here on the chart based on this scenario. And today, what we did get, well, we got the rally, we got a little bit of a dip. Let me just explain in detail. This is, one of my favorites, tools to use eventually throughout the last few years. All right, staying a little bit away of Elliott wave theory, even though Elliott wave theory did suggest that the possibility of this wave to be finished is definitely there. Okay, it is definitely there, and I will explain throughout this live stream, guys. Okay, now if you want a good level where we should be bouncing as support, it is the previous month close. That's where we actually bounced yesterday. Previous month close, right, where July closed was at 115.7K. That's where we wicked down over here. If you wish, it was just a resistance support flip. Now, claiming that level, it's important that we could, we could treat this level as a swing failure pattern, at least in the short term, just for a quick little scalp long. Any aggressive traders, wick down beneath that previous month close and potentially get a relief rally, okay, throughout the next coming hours if we do get down there, okay? So just if you wanted a level that is good as support and that we could actually bounce, well, it's this one right over here, legends, okay, that we might be hitting throughout the stream in the next coming minutes. So let's go right away with a little bit of the information of today, right? Because I understand that we are in bullish trend, we are in bullish momentum, but we'll go in detail through Elliott wave theory in this zone to actually know why there is a chance to get a rejection here in this level right over here at 117.2, as I mentioned today, just a few hours ago in the Legends Pro community. Get the rejection from that golden pocket 7-8 zone at 117.2 and actually move down to potentially the value area low from yesterday, breaking that previous day point of control. Definitely an option, definitely a possibility. This is currently what the price action is doing. So, and if you want to know, like I mentioned, you know, the best level for a long is sweeping up the wick low here from yesterday and managing to hold it. Okay, get that reaction. We're looking for a rally, potential sniper long, potentially to the VWAP. Maybe, you know, the VWAP is going to slowly climb down to this zone. If we wick down beneath the lows of yesterday on that higher low, it could be a nice little bounce reaction, and this could end up being in a 3-wave movement to the downside. Okay, so gonna have to be a little bit cautious, but overall that would be the best zone. Liquidity grab from that higher low, as there's many people that are long and they are adding to their position, and obviously that clear stop loss zone is beneath this last higher low swing low, which could get that instant reaction bounce after stopping everybody out, and you could possibly participate in that little bounce. Okay, other alternative is breaking down, right? Well, that is also a possibility. If there's no reaction and you just continue breaking down, there's no action to be taken. As this is an educational channel, we are going to be analyzing a little bit, you know, just a simple reason on why we did get rejected. There is a possibility that this movement to the upside could have been finished. There are several ways in counting this. You have a wave 1, you have a flat here in this scenario, you have your wave 3, your wave 4, and your expanding wave 5, okay? Expanding 5 waves to the upside, extension 5th wave, okay? An extension 5th wave to the upside, or an expanding diagonal. You know, both scenarios are, you know, okay. You know, your 5th wave is just the one that stretched its legs a little bit more throughout yesterday and part of, you know, early this morning, and now we're just getting that pullback. Okay, so there was a possibility based on the lows that were created on Tuesday, either a double 1-2, or this is a wave 1 running flat for your correction wave 2, your wave 3, which is larger than your wave 1, and then, you know, sometimes this is rare, but it does happen that you have your exponential 5th wave, right? And what happened today, anybody that likes the session volume profile, we can analyze a little bit and zoom in and say, okay, well, you know, session volume profile, it is a very, very good tool to use eventually. And when we opened today, we opened outside the previous day value area high, right? We created that volume right over here, previous day value area high. We opened outside here, around about 117. I've got it right over here, 117.4K zone, right? That's where we opened. Now, when you get back inside of the previous day value range, you realize that there is a chance to come down to the previous day value area low, right? Leaving Elliott wave on the side right now. And I obviously realized that there was a chance in forming a lower high here, getting a little scalp of, you know, $1,000, $1,500 to the downside, all good. You get back inside the previous day value area high, you get back inside. We bounced today at the previous day point of control. Then we got the bounce and we hit the golden pocket to the 7-8 Fibonacci. You realize that this is going to be resistance. There is going to be resistance here at the golden pocket 7-8 zone and the previous day value area high. Okay. There is going to be some resistance. Got my dogs going crazy there. And when we apply a little bit of Elliott wave theory, we could realize that this could be the end. My dogs just saw a cat and they went absolutely bananas, guys. So anyway, let's go right away through what I've been explaining here. So it is without a doubt one of those aggressive short trades. You know, nobody wants to try and short in an uptrend, right? We are uptrending. This could be only a pullback, and you know, you're looking for that rally to take out the highs, right? It is uptrending. It's not an easy trade, but you just realize that you could get that rejection at the zone. Okay, so it's just an internal little scalp short to take out the lows and have the potential in taking out the value area low and the higher low of yesterday, which would be your target 2 zone, right? Stop loss invalidation of obviously the high for that lower high and get that little pullback. So this is going to be interesting because you might think, is it a good time to long right now, right? I'm waiting for a long position in this pullback. I want to get into a long. We're uptrending. This is a 3-wave move. It's just a deep correction. I want to get into the long here, right? Because I do think that, you know, you just say that you're imagining that we are going to go to higher levels. You want to get into the pullback, right? But sometimes the pullback can be more aggressive. There's 2 options here based on levels. I mean, I'm going to keep it simple, guys, and it's a matter of being patient to get, you know, to see what information this 3-wave structure gives us. Yesterday we talked about the bearish case. You break down here and you form a 5-wave structure. Well, eventually that bounce is going to be very interesting for a short. You have the previous month close. You got 50% Fibonacci from the high to the low. If you analyze a 3-wave structure, you start, you know, seeing that the bullish momentum is not managing to go to higher levels, and you start breaking the last higher lows. You know, you realize that we could be going to lower levels, right? On the other side, there is the aggressive long position here in this zone, which is sweeping up that higher low, which is with the previous month close and the previous value area low. Why not? It's possible, right? You know, a reaction bounce from this level is definitely possible, right? To get back to the previous day point of control and the VWAP, okay? The session VWAP of today that's going to be climbing down to this area. So you got a nice little projection here. Not much, $600-700 on average, right? From this pivot. And it could be a little bounce, a very, very technical bounce that could happen after stopping out a few, you know, long positions, you know, beneath this 115.6K level, right? Okay, what if that level is not hit, right? I missed the long position, which is very, very much possible, right? We suddenly get a bounce right now and we get back above. This movement will be a bullish sign, okay? Especially because it could be a double 1-2. You know, you cannot deny that 1-2, 1-2. It looks like you're getting back above here, and then you finally break down in the 3rd wave. If you do come all the way up here and you start hitting the 0.88 Fibonacci, so we would want a nice rally, okay? You would want a nice rally here, almost to claim the highs of today. Preferably, we do get some kind of a pullback. This rally, if it does happen, you realize that taking out the highs again is extremely likely, because you no longer, you know, are coming into a bearish trend. If you move all the way up, getting close to the highs of today, you realize that, you know, you're just likely going to, you know, just continue the momentum, right? So you want to jump into another trade here, because this could be a new wave getting developed, which is definitely a possibility, right? So let's see if we do get that sign of strength. And this comes to the same explanation as yesterday, right? Yesterday, we had an explanation on why is it extremely likely that we get that move up to get above 117K, right? Everything needs to be explained in detail, guys, right? If we're talking about RSIs and 4-hourly candle closes, it could be bullish, it could be bearish. We could be forming a pennant and breaking out. We could, you know, signs of strength levels, and those are the ones that you trade. You have your invalidation, you have your good risk management, right? We go straight to the point here, guys. You know, no fucking around with it, you know, bullish pennants and stuff like that. We go in detail on why the probabilities lean to take a high or to take a low, right? The probabilities are higher. You position yourself accordingly with good risk management. And that's what we mentioned here throughout yesterday. This explanation of getting that recovery to almost take out this high would be a bullish sign without a doubt. Without a doubt, probabilities will lean that we could be taking out these highs at some point, and the retracement would be an important detail here to see if it is going to be some kind of a three-wave correction. You know, you kind of breaking out. That's the moment you want to be bullish to take out those highs. Same explanation as yesterday. If you get that correction, you almost take the highs. You know, you just need to analyze what could happen. Either a triangle, preferably you're long at the low of the triangle, so you get the rally and you can be defensive. And if you break down, then eventually you're looking for that swing failure pattern, ABC flat, because the probabilities in taking out this high is extremely likely, because this movement up that we had almost took out the high, and it's rare for it to be a wave two if you get so high from that first rejection. With that theory, eventually you say, you know, if you take out the low, we're looking for a bounce and taking out the high, right? That's the overall general idea. If we take out the low, we're looking for to get into the long position, right? It would just be a little bit of a long squeeze, which, you know, this is what happened, right? As explained yesterday. So if we do, and you know, like I mentioned right now, guys, you know, we are beneath this, you know, previous day point of control. We are beneath the point of control from this consolidation. You know, for me, it's going to be two options if you want to take a scalp, okay, a trade long or short. You know, preferably I would not be interested in shorts right now, because it's a, you know, it could be a three-wave structure. If we do get the leg down, this is your best first level of support and a liquidity grab to get that bounce. If you do get the rally and get acceptance back above the point of control from yesterday, and you almost hit these highs, that will be an incredible bullish sign, okay, that you're likely going to take out these highs right over here, right, and continue to the upside, right? So ultimately getting that sign of strength is all the way up here, almost taking out the highs. And if you do take out the highs, well, then it's, you know, even better, right? If you do move down in some kind of a corrective structure, you are looking for that continuation to the upside. Let's go right away through the, I mean, the local scenarios are pretty much clear, guys. Pretty much clear. Shorting in an uptrend, it's not the best option, but you know, we had a level here today that was given in a video update in the Legends Pro, and the main reason why is giving the chance of this uptrend that we had, which we were generally bullish and looking for a recovery, right, to take out these highs, which is what happened. We're looking for a recovery regardless if this is the low or not, looking for a little bit of bullish market structure locally here, and then take out those highs, okay, just a few days ago. Eventually we got the three-wave structure, we got the movement to the upside. It is a three-wave move down, and now the discussion is, you know, can we go to higher levels, right? The possibility of this being a finished three-wave structure is there. There is a very bullish case scenario, which is it's not finished, and you do have a 1-2 in an ABC flat, another 1-2. However, this second wave 1 and 2 is not the I mean, it's not preferred just because it's a little bit longer in price action than the first 1-2. We're going to give it a pass because it's not incredibly longer, just a little bit. So could the double 1-2 be here? And this is your third wave up, which is where the highest amount of volume is. The biggest movement that we had yesterday with the volume increasing from this pivot low to this pivot high, highest amount of volume, a double 1-2 here. Is it possible? Absolutely. You know, why not? If that were to be the case, then eventually, you know, we are looking for at least one more high. At least one more high, 112, 3, 4, 5, you know, and then potentially another 4, 5 here, and actually grind to the upside to get to 118K. So the levels where to bounce, if you go with this theory, is in between the 382 and the 50% Fibonacci from this pivot low. And, you know, surprisingly enough, we are bouncing at the 50% Fibonacci. So if we go with that theory, which is definitely possible, you got your wave 1 and 2 right over here. Obviously, you're looking for your 3 and your 4 and your 5. Definitely a scenario. And then you got your second wave 1 and 2. 3, 4, and 5. We're just going to change this color just so you guys can see it. Okay. Is it possible? Absolutely. You cannot take out these lows. You cannot overlap this pivot right over here. Because, I mean, if you do, then eventually, you know, we're not looking for a wave 4 anymore, right? You're overlapping that pivot over here. Could it be an expanding move also, and then another 4, 5? Well, you know, I mean, a bounce from this level is definitely a tradable scenario. You know, an SFP from this low, as it is the previous month close, which we did get supported yesterday, the close of July, with that general ABC flat idea. We did come down aggressively and bounce from that level. The chances for this is still there. We are uptrending. There's no, you know, big major reasons to believe that we are bearish. This could be a correction. The moment that I would say that another low is likely is when we do form a 5-wave structure here and we get a bounce. If we form this kind of price action, I would believe that there is a chance eventually to come and test the lows here at 112K, right? So we're going to have to go with that information in the next coming days if it were to happen. For the moment, the trend is bullish. There is still a bullish count that we could go to higher levels. And that is this one right over here, which is a 1, 2, 1, 2. Third wave, fourth wave. Preferably, you do not overlap this pivot right over here. And you do get a successful bounce at the 382 or 50% max. 382 did get a small reaction today, as we can see, with the previous day point of control. So it's an acceptable little scalp long to at least take the local highs. And then you have this 3-wave structure. This is a little bit of an aggressive long position, but the 50% Fibonacci is the exact level that is holding right now. I mean, it is a bit of an aggressive sniper. Because you are longing on that movement down. Like I said, preferably if you want to gain in probabilities and realize that the price action will be in your favor for the long, is when you get very close to hit this high, because that will be a confirmation that this is a 3-wave corrective structure. And if you do get that pullback, almost taking out these highs, you know, and it's a bit choppy, then you realize that the probabilities in getting another high, okay, is definitely in your favor. Okay, so let's go right away through. I mean, let's keep this in a folder. And let's analyze a little bit of some other scenarios, right? If it were to come down and sweep up this low, if it were to come down there, it's still the golden pocket from the last swing low. It would be the golden pocket as well. I mean, it is a level to bounce. I would take it as a scalp just to be cautious on, you know, the possible, you know, downtrend to continue. But golden pocket from this last swing higher low to the highs. You got the previous month close. You would want to expect some kind of a reaction bounce if you were to come down there, okay? If we do get this rally almost taking the high, it's going to be likely that you're going to take out this high at some point. But we need this rally to, you know, show some strength in the next coming hours, right? And what we could be forming is a little bit of a larger corrective range throughout the weekend. But if we do get that rally to almost hit these highs, the probabilities will increase to take out this high. And then, of course, you would have to position yourself accordingly. Not much more has to be discussed here, guys. There is the potential of this wave being finished, 3-wave structure, where the reason why we are getting resistance right now at this 117.5k, well, we got a lot of confluence. Let's just explain that confluence, which is why we are getting that reaction consolidation at the 117.5k as we were hitting that level late last night or early this morning, depending on where you are, right? First of all, you were hitting the 50% Fibonacci from the all-time high to the pivot low, and you're also hitting the anchored VWAP from all-time high. All-time high anchored VWAP was the exact level that got rejected. And when we point out, of course, the volume profile from this range, well, we do have eventually, that high volume already starting off here, right? Weekly naked point of control, high volume. This is the wall of volume that is basically, a tough nut to crack, right? And, if you add a little bit of more confluence, then you have the anchored VWAP and the 50% Fibonacci. You have the possibility of that 3-wave structure finishing that could have an expanding 5th wave as explained, right? Analyzing the waves is extremely important, that it will give you that extra edge, guys, of knowing the probabilities of the potential next movement and the levels that you would be interested in trading, right? Which is, as explained, the possibility of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because you do have your little grind here in 1, 2s, right? 3rd wave, 4th wave in your flat, and the 5th wave. This could be a completed wave right there with the highest amount of volume. That's what you want to see, and an expanding 5th wave. Extensive 5th wave, guys. I'm getting my words mixed up here with the expanding diagonal. I say extensive 5th wave. Or an expanding, diagonal is also a possibility. A 5th wave expansion is still, a possibility here in this movement to the upside. So this is where you realize with this movement down, as you do get back inside of the previous day value levels, guys, session volume profile, extremely powerful. Also, because if you get acceptance back inside the previous day value levels, that previous day point of control is acting as resistance as we speak right now, as we have lost it, which is bringing the risk to come to the previous day value area low. So you open outside of the previous day value area high, bang, bounce at support, lower high at the previous day value area high, and the golden pocket 618 from this pivot high to the pivot low to get that test of the point of control of yesterday, and with the possibility of moving down to the downside, which was explained today in the Legends Pro community just a few hours ago, giving you that possible decision on that short scalp trade. Okay. If you are interested in daily updates from myself, Devil, the rest of the coaches, there was an epic long position as well in the Signals channel in the Telegram provided by Aiden, one of the coaches. Nice long position on hype that played out very, very nicely. Okay. This was also provided inside of the Telegram Signals channel, but also the Legends Pro community. And you do have access to that. With the first link down below, guys, you will get the information, okay? Down below, if you join the Telegram community, it's the first link down below if you want these in detail, short little updates, okay? Short little video updates. And also screenshots and possibilities, right, from myself and the rest of the coaches. Let's go right away and say hello to the rest of the people that are joining. Make sure to smash up the like button if you do enjoy the education, guys. This is education. If you want some setups, like I mentioned, keeping it easy and simple, swing failure pattern from this low is without a doubt a scalp. I would treat it as a scalp. The main reason why I would treat it as a scalp, if you get this correction coming down this low, I mean, there is the possibility for this to be a larger 1-2 and a 1-2, you know, but I mean, I think because this price action is longer than this one, it's rare, okay? It would be rare to get your second one to have this projection. We did actually get the rejection, guys, from the 1236 Fibonacci extension. This was a level that was explained yesterday. It is rare, okay? It is common to get a reaction at the 1-to-1 extension, don't get me wrong, but usually you stretch your legs a little bit more, and the 1236 would be your, your target zone if you are longing somewhere in this region, or you got into the long here on the breakout, just realizing that taking out this high of August, the 4th of August, was highly likely, especially with this rally. As explained yesterday, I do think that this is going to be a wave 4, and we're going to move up to hit the 1236, as explained in yesterday's live stream, right? So let's go right away through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. I think there's a scalp long here, but I would be cautious because moving to lower levels, if we go with the most bullish case scenario, we have a problem if you do get down here, okay, and hit this low. You'll be overlapping this speculative second wave 1 and 2, which is part of your third wave. If this is part of your third wave, you don't want that wave 4 to overlap this pivot and hit the golden pocket, because it loses probabilities, to continue the rally, that is for sure. So a reaction bounce is without a doubt likely at this level. Just be quick and be defensive, because that bounce without a doubt could be small, could be $500, could be $400, could be a little bounce, or it could be $1,000. But ultimately, you want to take some profits, because that means that this uptrend momentum in an impulse, is losing momentum without a doubt, right? Let's go through the comment section and say hello to the beautiful 100% Andy, like smashed, absolute legend here, 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽. I was just talking about your trade as well from yesterday. Absolutely epic, very nice indeed, absolute legend, guys. 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽, one of the best out there, guys, in technical analysis. Awesome coach, always providing updates, interacting with the community more than me. I'm a little bit of a lazy booger, but it is what it is, guys. I'm from the south of Spain. You know the reputation from the Spanish. Anyway, let's go right away. This move up looks a little bit corrective. Let's see. The movement up looks a little bit corrective. This local one right over here, right, 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽, or this one right over here. Not sure if 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽 is looking at the local move up, or this movement to the upside. We're going to go through higher time frames and discuss the different possibilities, guys, that could happen on the higher time frame, right? I know we like levels, intraday, looking for scalp scenarios. For me, this is not a zone of interest. You either sweep up the low, you sniper along, or you get the movement up here, okay? A strong rally to get very close to this lower high, and that would be a good sign that these highs are going to be taken at some point, and we might just continue the weekend range. Let's go through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. My God, people are leaving the stream. What's going on? So yeah, some idiot just said for 89k from here. Lol, these go. There goes your invalidation. Okay, what's going on here? Some will, but most won't. Some will, but most won't. You guys are having a conversation here on your own, on with the rest of the community. Andy, what's your opinion on gold chart? I mean, gold has definitely extended its legs throughout the last couple of years. I'm not sure if people are interested in general. I was putting gold US dollar there. Yeah, more locally, this is an absolute beast, right? When you zoom out here on the 3-day chart or on the weekly, gold is, there's nothing wanting to stop this train for the moment. This is, this is the ETF. I was wondering why this circle was here. This is when gold ETF went live in 2004. Cup and handle, big breakout. It's just continuing to the upside, guys. What can we say? There's no major big rejection with high volume or big massive impulsive move down. This does look like an ascending triangle situation. You are getting, I mean, yeah, let me just, yeah, this is corrective. You know, high probability that gold is going to take out these highs at some point. Okay, what the heck is going on with TradingView? Something's not working here properly. There we go. High probability on gold that we take out the high. Why? Because you have a 3-wave move to the downside without continuation. You haven't got a strong impulsive move and a bounce. You got a 3-wave structure that got an epic bounce here, taking out this lower high. It's crystal clear that these highs are going to be taken at some point in the very near future. I mean, but gold has been extremely boring for many, many months here, right? June, July, just in a big fat range. But it is bullish. It is uptrending. There is no signs of weakness. 3-wave structure down with the bounce taking out this lower high. You're possibly forming some kind of a, you know, WXY right over here. And you're forming a triangle that's going to probably squeeze out in the next coming weeks. Okay, so you got a triangle right over here. You got higher lows. Okay, let's go right over here, do a little bit of gold analysis on the chart. ABC movement to the downside. ABC, right? Crystal clear. There's no impulsive move here to the downside on gold. You got this rally that could be identified as a double zigzag. Okay, because you do have your zigzag to the upside, a little bit of a corrective structure, a bit of a flat right over here, and another zigzag up. Okay, double zigzag in your wave X right over here. And now potentially you are forming a triangle or a flat. Maybe the flat is a running flat and it's already in. Gold looks bullish. A higher low here on gold is, if we do get down, is extremely likely. Right? So in a nutshell, going here with the WXY, you got your wave W in a zigzag, your wave X, and now wave Y formation, which for the moment is pointing out that it is a triangle. You do have that high, your last high, right? Lower high from this rally, A, B, C, D, E. You could get a correction in the next, next week possibly, but ultimately this could be the low. Higher low, most commonly in between the golden pocket and the 0.88 Fibonacci, okay, on a triangle. If you were to top out and reject from here, I do think a rejection here would make sense. Or, right, you're obviously finishing that Y wave over here. Anybody that doesn't like Elliott wave theory and thinks it's a lot, a bunch of BS, it's the most powerful tool that there is to give you the projection and the highest probability on a direction, guys. This would be the scenario, right? Right over here. A sideways WXY where you got your zigzag down or a flat, your X wave that's taking out those highs, right? 3-wave structure. You're taking out those lower highs or getting close to it. And then you just range for, in this case on gold, a couple of months. So we are looking for a smash out on gold here of the highs, at least test the highs, right? It's this is exactly what's happening on gold in this range for the last few months. It's this right over here. And obviously you can say that this could be a flat just because you have hit the minimum target zone for your flat in your B wave, which is the 0.9 Fibonacci right over here. From this pivot high to the pivot low, if you get a rally and hit the 0.9, it's already a flat target. So a running flat and a higher low, maybe the low is in already and you are going to be breaking out in the next coming weeks. People not interested in this, guys. There's actually people leaving the stream. Absolutely insane. What can I say? High probability in gold. It's probably because we're looking at gold and not Bitcoin. Anyway, let's go right away and continue through the comment section. It is Friday evening. People want to go to the pub and have a few pints, guys. I do get it. 𝗖𝗍𝗿𝗍 knows. 𝗬𝗍cie, hey, Andy Pandy, I Candy. 𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗍, much love to you. Mark Dutch from the Netherlands. It's Friday, baby. What's going on in the Netherlands on Friday evening? Nothing good, I'm sure. Nothing good for the weekend. Much love to you, brother. Thank you very much for joining. 𝗬𝗚𝘆𝗽𝗍, much love. Always here providing support and enjoying the stream. What do you think about gold? 𝗬𝗚𝘍𝗽 doing the analysis here on gold. It looks bullish. It looks very, very bullish. You know, there's nothing stopping this train. There's no sign of weakness on the movements to the downside. They look extremely corrective. What can we say? If you're an average Joe out there, it's a bullish pennant. It's a bullish pennant and we're going to break out. Okay? Very, very likely. Let's go through. I'm here and not leaving. Watch the full stream every day, says 𝗖𝗍𝗇. Absolute legend. I got an awesome message today, guys. An awesome message from someone that is, you know, willing to take a flight to come to Dubai and, you know, he wants a photo, you know, and an autograph. You know, he's been paying attention to the education and everything and, you know, changed his life. I need to find that message. You know, wanted to share that with you guys, which is awesome, guys. You know, getting these messages once in a while. I do have a lack of motivation, guys. There is a lack of motivation right now. I'm in that, you know, period of life that there is a lack of motivation, but we'll get out of it. No problem. My Dutch bud, are you still coming to Turkey? I'm sure he is. Sin Games also in the game here. Much love to you, brother. What else do we have here? Universal codes. That was amazing, Andy. I think you should keep added gold to your shows. Yeah, thank you very much, my man. We could diversify with gold or with stock market. Not much more here for Bitcoin, guys. I mean, Bitcoin getting close to the lower high, reclaiming the previous day point of control where we were bouncing as support today, but we broke down. This could be a three-wave corrective structure. We need a sign of strength here, okay? The risk right now in longing the pullbacks is that this wave could be finished as we are hitting major resistance, the anchored VWAP, the naked point of control. You know, it's a three-wave move to the upside. Everything's bullish. We're looking for all-time high. Let's go, moon mission. This could be rangy. It could be the end, guys. You know, there's nothing more important than actually being bullish, where you need to be bullish and waiting for the leg to the upside to extend. This becomes a zone where it starts to be a little bit dangerous to be bullish, very, very bullish, and get into every single retracement long, because it can eventually get a larger pullback. So you want confirmation on the charts, right? You want confirmation on the charts. What would be a confirmation on the charts, right? Well, eventually it will be coming all the way up here, right, to this area. And then eventually, you know that this is a three-wave structure. You're reclaiming the point of control here. Again, back above it. Nice rally, high probability to take out the highs at some point, as this could be corrective, and you're reclaiming that point of control. I know somebody, and I'm not going to give any names, that was looking at this as some kind of a bullish pennant. You know, you obviously can attempt it. You can attempt it. You just need to be a little bit. You just need to manage risk, right? We can attempt every single trade, guys. As long as you're managing risk and you're not, you know, going all in on single trades, then eventually you can attempt everything. Chainlink looks awesome. What can we say about Chainlink? My goodness. I wanted to talk about the altcoin market cap here, guys, because there is high probability in revisiting the highs. Looking at the chart, momentum is bullish. The momentum to the downside is corrective. And it looks like that we could be entering that massive altcoin season, guys, without a doubt. It does look very good, even though the entire crypto tube, except for a couple of them maybe, are very, very bullish. It is just looking very bullish. Very, very bullish. And we can go through the total crypto market cap, which is eventually the chart that you want to realize if it is bullish or not to get that altcoin season in the next coming months. And I can already point out, right, there was a little bit of doubt a few months ago on my end that, you know, could this be a double top? We formed a 5-wave structure, okay? And this is it. However, the information that we got on the total crypto market cap with this movement down gives us the high probability that it is a pullback. Okay, it is a corrective structure, and eventually we're looking for those highs to be taken at some point. So far, so good. Now the confirmation for that has happened literally. Right, when we take a look at Fibonacci from the highs to the lows, you've hit the 0.88 Fibonacci. Okay, you have rallied almost, to these highs, 3-wave structure to the downside. You're not looking for an impulsive move down, massive bearishness. And the 112 here is without a doubt what we are looking at. And the 5th wave is not in. You're just going to have a massive expanding 5th wave throughout the next coming months and get that breakout. Finally, the altcoin season happens when you break successfully the previous all-time high, and eventually you get the Bitcoin dominance breaking down, right? Which we already have the good signs. We have good signs here that this could be the first initial leg down. Okay, you might get a little bit of a corrective move throughout the next coming weeks. But I do see the high chance that that 3rd wave is going to kick in the next, few months. Right? Is it hopium? Well, what helps on this to be a little bit more confident, not only the Bitcoin dominance, because this could, this is still uptrending, right? Look at this movement down. It got an epic bounce. Could this happen here? Absolutely. But what brings confidence that rally on altcoins is likely going to happen throughout the next coming months, guys, is taking at the altcoin chart. This is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when you realize, okay, I was skeptical, at the end of 2024, at beginning of 2025, we don't know yet. We do need more information. 3-wave move down, massive rally here. This is bullish. And eventually, you could say it's a cup and handle, right? You could say it's a cup and handle, even though if you have hit the 50% Fibonacci, it's not really a cup and handle. Yeah, you did. But anyway, it's a cup and handle here, massive cup and handle, right? And you're just going to snap out here in the next coming months to get to $2 trillion on altcoins, right? Another extra trillion potentially, throughout the next few months. It's realistic, guys. It is realistic. And based on the chart, we are still uptrending very nicely. And, your 5th wave is possibly not in yet. You're going to have an extensive 5th wave where you have your 1, 2, 3, right? This is almost the moment in the next couple of months where the mania starts, especially when you form a 112. When you form a 112, it's even better for the 3rd wave to explode. And then eventually 4-5, right? 4-5, and you come to the end of the altcoin season at some point, right? After that big breakout, you get choppiness. That's the moment to get out, right? The altcoins searched on Google is going absolutely ballistic. We are projected to break the previous all-time high of 2021 in the next, week or two. The projection looks insane, right? And this is looking at the last 5 years. If we do take a look at, the history here, look at this. To even to break the previous all-time high of 2016. Maybe the mania, is going to happen in the next coming months, and this continues rallying, right? For the moment, everything looks pretty good. So Chainlink being my biggest holding, it is currently 11% of my portfolio, 13%, sorry. I just checked the exact percentage of my crypto portfolio the other day, as I had to. I had to organize what I had, right? And Chainlink looks incredibly awesome, guys. The possibility here of forming a 112 is definitely there to get that breakout above $30 in the next coming months. You got your clear wave 1 and 2, I was skeptical about this being a C wave, but after looking at this movement down, we can confirm that it looks more corrective than impulsive. And if that is the case, we need to give the chance for another wave 1 and another wave 2, meaning that the next wave up that could be developed in the next coming months is a very explosive move to the upside, right? So the projection looks good, guys. You know, we've been cooking for a few months down here when we got the rejection, when we entered into 2025. You know, it's got the rejection, it got the pullback. We're cooking here. Everything looks, you know, very, very good. Multiple 1-2s here could be what is developing on Chainlink. Okay, we got a nice little bounce yesterday, throughout today as well. Yeah, I mean, it just looks, okay. It looks a-okay. So, I mean, Bitcoin, not much more. We mentioned the intraday scalp, you know, scenarios, day trading, scalping scenarios. If you're new to the channel, welcome, guys. The first 30 minutes to an hour is literally Bitcoin. First 30 minutes, I would say. We focused on the levels and possible scenarios that could happen in the local price action. You know, why we got rejected from here. Why could we bounce from here? Why did we bounce here today? You know, why could this be finished? Why could it maybe not be finished? You know, signs of strength would be almost getting this high. And then what we're looking at is another leg up, right? It's just giving you the different many scenarios that you need to be paying attention throughout the next coming hours, next couple of days. Okay, now we have broken down beneath the previous day point of control. So hitting the previous day value area low is without a doubt an option. We are getting that resistance from the previous day point of control in the last few, you know, 30 minutes or so, right? So coming down to sweep up this low and bouncing at the value area low could be an option for a little scalp, guys. Okay, so is this boring, guys? Let me know in the comment section. What do I need to change? What do I need to change on the education? Do I need to be more entertaining? Do I need to rap and do some freestyles, or do I need some better music? I am here for you guys. Help Andy to reach 100k subs. Yeah, we are 99.4, guys, almost 99.5. The closer I get to 100k, guys, the harder it is. It's absolutely insane. So naked live stream, says Devils. That is an option. Please don't rap, says DarkTube. I mean, a lot of people, come on, we live in the 21st century. And I do get that, you know, a lot of people like, you know, entertaining stuff, right? When you do take a look at you know, YouTube or social media, right? It seems like the more showman you are, the more, you know, the more entertainment you're going to be, of course, but the more public you are going to get, guys. I mean, this is the 21st century, right? It's, you know, a lot of freestyle like Jason. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I'm so bad at rapping, guys. I'm like really bad. That's not going to happen because I will lose subscribers. That is for sure. Let's go Slim Andy. Yeah, you don't want to hear me. Just be yourself, Andy. Yeah, very true. Devil, you're very true, my man. Yeah, just be yourself. I don't even like Elliot Waves and I watch every stream, Andy, says David. Wow, that's insane. I mean, the power of Elliot Wave, you know, is interesting. It is very, very helpful eventually to give you that edge on the projections and the highest probability movements, right? So, yeah, when we do take a look at, you know, today's, you know, this is actually a strategy. Session volume profile is a strategy. If you do open outside of the previous day value levels, okay, and you get back inside it, you know, the point of control is going to act as support and the previous day value area high is going to act as resistance. And if you, obviously, you know, your target one here would be the point of control. And if you break the point of control, you can leave some position open to hit the previous day value area low and sweep up that higher low. I mean, this, and I kept Elliott wave theory to a side because, you know, I know a lot of people, you know, sometimes cannot take Elliott wave theory. You really need a lot of, you know, brain power to really analyze Elliott wave theory to come with the highest probability scenarios. But sometimes you just need to keep it simple. And, you know, today's video update in the Telegram was literally saying we could have finished this structure up, guys. This is why Elliott wave helps you to say this could be the local top, at least the local top. And we could be looking for at least a 3-wave move down. We got back inside of the previous day value level and previous day value area high with the golden pocket in 7/8, you know, can provide that resistance to get the movement down. I mean, and obviously take profit 1 is the point of control that was explained here. And if you do get the leg down, breaking it, the possibility of coming down to that previous day value area low is there. Okay. So, I mean, but your position is obviously taken on that wick that we had today, which is this one right over here, right? I mean, it's not the easiest trade, of course, right? Because you're pumping and you're breaking out the local highs, right? Nobody wants to short here, guys. Nobody wants to get into a short here, right? As you're breaking here, you know, this is the correction. This is it. We go into the highs and then wick move down, right? These are aggressive decisions to take. But it's only a scalp regardless, right? It's only to be part of this movement to the downside. Not much to say here, guys. You know, to be honest, as explained at the beginning, you know, if you want a high probability trade setup on Bitcoin, you know, sweeping up this low and value area low would be a good option for a scalp long, all the way up to the point of control and the VWAP. Okay, it's just a very, very common bounce that you would get at the previous day value area low, especially after sweeping up that higher low. It's just a very common bounce. If it's broken, then eventually you're not interested in longing, right? If you start trading beneath this pivot low and the value area low, you don't long here. You long on the reaction bounce. You long here as you get back above, right, to take advantage of that movement up. And if you think that this is a 3-wave move, that is it is a correction. I mean, where we are bouncing right now, if we are going with the most bullish case scenario, which is this one, and you know, it's still a valid count, which would be just continuing the momentum, right? We're probably just bouncing at this trend line, right? You know, we're keeping things even more simple, right? Higher low trend line, higher low trend line. But with Elliott wave theory, you do not want to overlap this pivot right over here, giving the chance of the bulls here for that 1 2 1 2 3 fourth wave. And where the fourth wave needs to bounce is at the 50% Fibonacci, and that's currently where we are testing. And we are getting this little reaction here throughout the last 30 minutes, right? I mean, this is the level to bounce. If you want to attempt that this is a correction and we are going to get that rally to possibly hit the highs, your invalidation is the golden pocket. So, you know, in a nutshell, if you wanted to attempt this, that still has a chance. If you're long in the 50%, your stop loss is the golden pocket and you're looking for new highs. You know, maybe get a little breakout eventually. I would rather wait for a sign of strength. I realize that the end of this could have happened, right? It's all about how aggressive you are. Is there a chance in bouncing here nicely? Absolutely. You know, it depends on you know, how aggressive you are. I realize that this could be a end of a movement up with an extension 5th wave, A, B, C. And, you know, for me to be confident, there would be a little scalp right there just to take a quick little long. If you sweep up the low and the previous day value area low, it's only a scalp. Or if you do get the rally and take out this high, or close to taking out this high, hitting the 0.88 Fibonacci, right? And then getting a range throughout the weekend, this will very likely be bullish, an opportunity to participate here to take out the highs again. But, you know, we need that information. The weekend is coming, so it's probably going to be rangy, or we might get, you know, the drop might continue. Fridays, I don't like Fridays, guys. Fridays before the market closes, the stock market closes. Sometimes Fridays can be a little bit punchy. Lots of Fridays have been bearish. I don't want to be the bear, guys, but you want to stay cautious because on Fridays, sometimes before the stock market closes, you get that, you know, little bit of a sell-off, right? It happens. You know why? Do you know why, guys? Because people that are invested in the stock market on Fridays, they want to take some money and go party, guys. They want to party throughout Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, and they don't have any cash. All of it is invested in stocks. So what they do on Friday, they sell the stocks because they want to go and party, right? And, you know, when you party, depending on what kind of party you are in, you know, they can be expensive, right? So this is why. This is my theory on why Fridays sometimes get a dump, because investors want to take profit, you know, and go party and get some cocaine. So that's my theory right over there on the Friday dumps. Are you still in your longs? Yes, still in longs. I'm still in boring longs, guys. Okay, boring longs, boring long positions. But yeah, it's still okay. Still okay. Depending on how we move down here, depending on how we move down, I would consider closing the swing long. Okay, because as mentioned, I do fear the possibility of the price coming down in some kind of an impulse, guys. This was explained yesterday as well. If we move up here, we do get the resistance at, basically the point of control of this range. And if we break down in a little bit of a 5-waver in the next coming days, there's nothing to fear about just yet. But if we do get that strong rejection and we do start breaking here, the local structure, there is a chance for a 112 here. I'm not in favor of that, just because your second wave 1 and 2, your second wave 1, your 2's not in yet, is much longer than the first one, and that is uncommon, okay, to happen. So I would fear, if we do continue dropping throughout today, Friday, I would be a little bit concerned about the situation, because you got your possible first wave 1 and 2, and if it does not manage to get back above in the next coming hours and it continues dropping, well, I would label this as a possible wave 3. You get the consolidation of the weekend and then you claim the low again, and it becomes a pretty impulsive move down. If it doesn't look corrective, it looks impulsive, you're breaking a bit of structure, I would really consider the possibility of the price coming back down to the lows here, guys. I mean, there's nothing to fear about now. At the moment, this is why I'm still remaining in swing longs. But when I get this information, I would definitely be, a little bit skeptical. There is that chance, okay, still of continuing this range. We do have a 3-wave move down. This would be a little bit shallow in time if we are going to get another zigzag down. But there is, without a doubt, the possibility. I've got it here in a folder somewhere. Something like this, right? Where you do have a zigzag to the downside and an ABC. You got a 3-wave structure. I mean, it would be shallow in time still. Yeah, it would be shallow in timing still, but it's possible. I don't know. We need a rejection, right? We need a proper rejection, like boom, 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 like things getting a bit crazy, right? If we do get a little bit of an impulse here, we start getting very close to this higher low in a 5-wave structure. I'll be like, holy crap, this is not looking that great, guys. The momentum has been lost. 𝗖𝗍𝘆𝗽𝗁2 is out of the scenarios just because this second wave 1 and 2 is much larger in time. And I would really consider maybe flipping bearish to take out this low, at least locally. But we need that information, right? That information needs to be given. Once we get this information, then we could speculate on, this bounce, guys. I'm not too sure about it. We probably could come down and sweep up the low just for a larger, WXY throughout the next, coming weeks. But there's nothing to fear about yet. We are uptrending. The structure locally in the last few days is bullish. The 112 is still a possibility. If we start dancing around here in the weekend, then we form a very corrective range. I'll be like, yeah, this might look good. We're breaking out in the third wave. So there's information here that we need for me to close the swing long positions, right? There's no reason here for me to close the swing long, and actually targeting 119 to 120K. Just because of the amount of liquidity, and I'm going to give the bulls a chance. I'm going to give the bulls a chance here that we could go to higher levels. No major signs of weakness yet. No major signs of weakness yet. Okay, this could be a 3-wave corrective structure, and the most bullish case scenario is still, coming to fruition, right? Which would be this one right over here. Yeah, maybe this is still very much a possibility. And we just actually, continue rallying throughout the next coming days. And obviously we could label this as your wave 3. It just hasn't finished yet. I mean, we're going to stretch the legs here a little bit, stretch the timing here ever so slightly, just because weekend is coming, and weekends are usually not too volatile. If this were to happen, then we're looking at these lower highs. We're looking at that massive amount of liquidity at 120K. There's still lots of liquidity up there, guys. The market structure is bullish. So I am bullish, on a higher time frame. Today was just a little scalp short to take out the point of control and possibly the lows here. That was only a scalp short position that was provided in the Legends Pro. Okay, it could get that rejection, but that's only locally. Higher time frame, still the structure is bullish, and the bulls have a chance to proven otherwise. Proven otherwise would be breaking down in a 5-wave move here, right, throughout the next coming days. Then I'll be skeptical. I'll be like, I don't like this, guys. I don't like it, and yeah, we'll go from there. So let's go right away through. Oh, I've got a super chat here. Thanks very much for the super chat, Quantum. Much love to you, brother. I want to see Andy and 𝗍𝗏𝘆 racing on camels. I'm just going to scroll up here. And so, yeah, I'm just going to scroll up here. I am learning to know out high before a low is very helpful for decisions, says Allison. Much love. I don't like Andy, but I'm here for the education content. 𝗬𝗏𝘆𝗽𝗁, much love to you, brother. Andy, your content is great, buddy. It's very informative. Thank you very much, my man. It's perfect now, says. Much love to everybody. It was a 𝗬𝗏𝘆𝗽𝗁. It's mackerel, not 𝗍𝗏𝘆𝗽. Let's go continue here through the comment section, guys. Kaprat 𝗍𝗏𝘆𝗽. Red us, much love. Andy, you can you take a look at local low time frame structure from the HS? Local structure, lower time frame. I hate Elliott waves too. Tried to learn them before, too complex, but it's so intriguing to watch Andy and 𝗍𝗏𝘆𝗽 every day analyzing them. They're right most of the time. Wow, Fathy, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't get many comments of people saying you're always wrong. I did get one the other day. You're always wrong. I mean, we look at projections, we look at levels, right? And Are you pulling this daily value area, or is there an indicator that shows them automatically? Yeah, this value area is the session volume profile, okay? SVP. If you go to indicators and you put the SVP, it's the session volume profile, which will give you the previous day value levels. It is important that you use an exchange that has high volume. I like to use Bybit. I've always used Bybit. But, you know, Coinbase is good. Binance is good. You know, an exchange that does have big volume, right? Preferably in the top 5 in volume. So session volume profile. Okay, and it does provide you that information from the day, the previous day, right? And you can see that yesterday we had the point of control in this zone. We got a bounce, and the value area high from yesterday got the resistance. So, yeah. Let's go right away and continue through the comment section, legends. It is Friday. Thank you very much for joining the stream here, guys. Smash up the like button. Okay, we're probably hitting 99.5k subscribers today. Let me go here with Quantum Traveler. Mel, hello, much love. Sin Games and 𝗖𝗿𝗆cie and 𝗬𝗍𝗆 here. Much love. Quantum Traveler says, I developed my own system that works for me. I trust you to do my Elliott wave analysis for me. Keep doing you, and the subs will come for sure, homie. Much love to you. Thank you very much, my brother. Super chatos hermanos. 𝗖𝗿𝗆cie. Much love to you. Yeah, this is yeah, thank you very much for the kind words. Elliott wave can definitely you know, can definitely be very, very complex, but it does help a lot, right? It does help a lot to give you the projections, right? The overall projections. And the last few days, the speculation was, can we find this 3-wave structure? Can we find the 7-8 holding support here and change local market structure and get that leg to the upside to take out the local highs here from the last few days, right? And that's what Elliott wave gives you, right? The chance of reading the previous price action and realizing what could happen next, which, you know, money flow or order flow or RSI or Bollinger Bands are not going to give you that projection. You know, it's just not going to happen with these different thousands of indicators, you know. So the Elliott wave theory gives you that edge on realizing the different projections that could happen and when it can turn around, right? And when, you know, what targets are you looking at, which is very, very helpful eventually, right? If you're a trader. So yeah, let's go right away through the comment section. We don't need to discuss here much left here on Bitcoin. We just want to say hello to the comment section. It is Friday, guys, and I do appreciate you being here. And I'm here for you, and I just want to do a little bit of Q&A. Nobody is perfect. If they say they are, that's a red flag. I'm far away from being perfect. Far away. You are who you are, right? Andy, check out Phemex Gala GRT. We are gonna run best time long, says Ghost of Bricks. GRT. My goodness, what's going on with GRT? Yeah, I mean, altcoins, guys, it is time to be positioned on a few altcoins, okay? It's time to be positioned on a few altcoins. I am going heavy this cycle, which is currently, well, obviously Chainlink and Ethereum. Ethereum's 9% of my portfolio. ICP, I brought it all the way up to 5% of my entire portfolio. Which, you know, it is a significant chunk for an altcoin, at least for me. And I mean, GRT, awesome project with, you know, it's basically bringing in data to real world data in the blockchain. Where it is right now, I mean, for me, this is an accumulation zone without a doubt. It is an accumulation area to be excited about, and yeah, it does look like it wants to pop to the upside after getting these massive sell-offs, and you're getting into a wedgie triangle structure. for many months, you know, you just have higher probability that it's gonna pop out at some stage. The question is, will this pop out be enough in power, or will it come back down? And, you know, there's just altcoin season cancelled, guys. What can we say? That is the question, because there's a lot of people that are going to be waiting for the breakout. Wait for this is it, guys. We should be going to higher levels, and then yeah, you bought here on the pump, and you're down here. I mean, so preferably you do buy at the lows, right? It's just going to be a better option. So ICP is the one that I mean, everything's going to pump, guys, in an altcoin season, right? Ones will pump more, ones will pump less. I am betting on ICP. You know, it's a very good project. Volume is increasing. You know, they do have profits. The network is live. You know, they are building on top of ICP. Nothing compared eventually to the Binance Smart Chain or Solana, but they are, you know, in the top game on AI. So we're going to give it a chance. We're going to give it a chance. And obviously the best area to accumulate is at floor levels, especially when you understand that you've moved up in an impulse. And this is likely a three-wave corrective kind of structure, which is giving you the high probability of taking out $20 at a bare minimum at some point in the next, you know, few months or in the near future. I don't want to get in here. I want to start getting out. And, you know, we're going to see people talking about, you know, it's the future, baby. And you get the deal, right? There's high probability in that happening. Could we smash out later on from these highs and go to, you know, $40, $50, $60? Well, we're just going to have to see, guys. But this is the target one, right? Because there is always a possibility in a three-wave structure, and ciao amigo, that's it. So yeah, I just want to be cautious on that. Oh, yup, altcoin season started. I'm 100x long on Gala, GRT, and Beam. BCH, please. BCH is one of the OGs, guys. I think BCH is going to do great. I mean, look at this. Bitcoin Cash is just rallying here consistently. You know, we did talk about Bitcoin Cash on the higher time frames. That Litecoin, same scenario, guys. When you say Bitcoin Cash, I instantly think about Litecoin. Litecoin. I don't know why I got these levels. Point of control. I'm going to get this off the charts. This is probably from a long time ago. Litecoin is just, what can we say about Litecoin? I think this is just bubbling up here. You got a nice shallow uptrend momentum that I think is gonna blast off here in some kind of a third wave at some point. When we take a look at the higher time frame on Litecoin, I mean this could be very similar to XRP, where it's forming a multi-year correction from its all-time highs. It is a lower high. The fact that you almost took out the high here is bullish. An ascending kind of triangle, let me get this out of the way, or a symmetrical triangle formation, multi-year bear market. When you compare this to XRP, and these are OG cryptos, they're just been in a massive long consolidation. But when you take a look at XRP on the logarithmic chart, and you basically look at it, you know, I think Litecoin is forming something very, very similar. Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin to all-time highs, potentially in this cycle, in this altcoin season. Bitcoin Cash, same scenario. Even though Bitcoin Cash, let's go to the logarithmic. They're OG projects. They do work. They're absolutely great. And I think this one is just forming, you know, the same scenario, a multi-year triangle structure. A, B, C, D, E, A, Yeah, and it's just ready to get that blast off. Litecoin, same scenario. Just getting ready. Right? You're kind of in this zone on Bitcoin Cash. You got the all-time high of 2017, the all-time high of 2021. Well, not all-time high, the high of 2021. Not reaching its previous all-time high after a major 2017 rally. It's a multi-year correction. I mean, we've been talking about this on XRP, before the breakout. And the same applies on Litecoin and on Bitcoin Cash. I do call for all-time high on both of them, potentially, in the next coming months. So yeah, what can we say? I mean, Bitcoin Cash, this is insane. This is probably rally. This Bitcoin Cash is probably on the verge of popping out here. Popping out insanely, because what we do have from the low of 2022 is your first rally and higher low. 3, your most explosive wave. Okay. You got your first rally with a first higher low from the bear market. Then you have your next big rally with your large consolidation for your wave 4 and your wave 5 here. And here you have a zigzag, right? Or a flat, because you possibly hit the 0.9 Fibonacci from this pivot high to the pivot low. Well, no, you didn't. Almost. You got a zigzag though. And right now with this rally that is hitting the 0.88, the 0.9 Fibonacci, this is bullish. This is going to get the breakout at some point. And if this is a multi-year corrective structure, this is, possibly your first rally, and this is your correction. If this is your wave 2, then, what we're looking at here is the breakout, is the big breakout. The breakout that is literally the one that happened for XRP a few months ago, right? This kind of breakout. I mean, XRP has had a lot of green flags eventually throughout the last few months. Bitcoin Cash, I think a lot of companies, especially payment companies, realize that Bitcoin Cash is here to stay. When I downloaded applications that, payment applications or, whatever app, the first cryptos to get integrated on those apps, guys, and any OG can affirm this, is Bitcoin eventually, number 1, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. They're the 4 favorites when any kind of crypto wallet or or crypto debit card, application, crypto.com integrated these ones in the first few cryptos. Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash were in the list. So yeah, eventually you would expect them to rally, and the charts look very nicely. What is the fundamental reason to own Bitcoin Cash? The thing about Bitcoin Cash, it is supposedly safer than Bitcoin. I mean, this would be a big discussion. You can do your research on that, but I have read about it. I'm not a developer or any of that, and I don't understand it eventually. But they do say that it is safer, but it's definitely faster and cheaper to send. Is it more secure? I would say not. Obviously, with the Bitcoin hash, it's the safest network, I would say, Bitcoin, that there is out there. So it's probably not that safe, but it is safe enough. It is big enough to be safe, very safe. But it is faster. It is cheaper than Bitcoin. And, that would be one of the reasons. Bitcoin, that's why it's called Bitcoin Cash, because Bitcoin was supposed to be cash, right? Digital cash. But it's too slow. It's too expensive for and I know about the Lightning Network and all of this, but Bitcoin Cash was designed to be Cash, right? That's why it's Bitcoin Cash, because it's faster, it's cheaper, and that's the main reason. It does have a space, does have space to be in the game. Come on, hit the like, fam, says Maku. Much love to everybody. That like button sucks, guys. Thank you very much for destroying the likes. Thank you very much for being here on Friday. Ethereum, please. Ethereum looks okay. Ethereum looks good. Ethereum looks like it wants to go to higher levels. What can we say about Ethereum? Ethereum's bullish AF, guys. Ethereum is bullish AF. Massive multi-year corrective structure, and this is your first big major leg up, guys. I'm not too sure if the parabolic move is just already, you know, in the early stages. The corrections on Ethereum is where you want to jump in. I have no idea if this is just going to be an extensive fifth wave. It's going to take off, right? If it does not take off, remember to, you know, put your alerts. If we do get some kind of a, you know, a swing failure pattern is definitely an option here, guys. If you do take a look, the levels to reject here on Ethereum, without a doubt, is a swing failure pattern from the highs of 2024 and 2025. And you also have the 1.618 extension from the first wave to the upside to the pivot low, right? The 1236132 is where we're currently at. But if you were to stretch your legs here, 4,500, just a few $100s of taking out all-time high could be the level of rejection. 1.618 extension from this movement for that wave 3, right? Or an SFP, right? A swing failure pattern could still also be the option for the wave 3 here, and you consolidate in the wave 4 and then an extensive wave 5 throughout the next coming months. You know, regardless, taking out all-time high is the option. If we were to reject right now on Ethereum in the next couple of weeks, which maybe it's not going to happen, guys. Maybe we just have an expanding, you know, an extensive third wave here on the breakout. It's just rallying, very shallow pullback, so we could still be inside of the big wave 3, right? It's just, it's obvious throughout the, you know, last few months that we were discussing about this being corrective, right? You got three wave up, and then a flat here, complex WXY. And when we broke down from here, guys, this was the run to buy Ethereum, guys. We were talking about more spots. You know, this is when I got a stream here. Ever since we started the breakdown of $2,000, I'm buying one Ethereum every Monday, right? And doing it on stream, guys. We need to buy Ethereum. 1,800, 1,600, 1,200. It doesn't matter. Start buying in this dip, because the reversal to hit all-time high, I got a chart that actually is drawed like this, guys, where we're going to bottom out at some stage here. You know, this was the overall projection on Ethereum. So whoever bought Ethereum here eventually is very, very happy. And all-time high is next. If we do get the rejection, guys, it's all about the rejection. It's all about the correction. If we, you know, correct down, you know, we've formed some kind of a large range, which maybe is not going to happen, guys. Maybe this is it. Then eventually we would be very interested to participate, because, I mean, if it were to be a 112, then yeah, game on, guys. Then game on. Massive breakout to be expected in the next. You're the best, 𝗬𝗍𝘆. 𝗬𝗍𝘆 is without a doubt the best. Oh, let's go. We got some members here who's been 𝗬𝗍𝘆 membership de regalo. Thank you very much, 𝗬𝗍𝘆, the legend himself. Thanks for the generosity. The legends here, lots of members here. We are bouncing on Bitcoin. We are bouncing back up. Yeah, it is. We are bouncing back up here. 50% is playing ball. 50% Fibonacci from this pivot low to the pivot high, giving the chance for that most bullish case scenario, which is eventually this being a multiple 1-2. There is the chance. if you take out now this high over here or get to the 0.88, it is game on, baby. We are looking for the highs to be taken and potentially break out here. So yeah, I mean, if you did take the short, if you are in the Legends Pro community, which we did talk about a short, the targets were obvious. TP1 is the lows. If we get lower, hold it. It's a hedge from longs. I am mainly swing long on Bitcoin. Mainly swing long. No major swing shorts. I mean, there was a short scalp today, but you know, mainly swing long. If you are interested in getting into a long, then like I said, a sweep of this low would have been an option. If you rally to take out the highs of today, you know, this structure will likely be bullish. It's a corrective move. Okay, so we would analyze that throughout the weekend in the Legends Pro community. Very likely. Okay, sending those small little video updates on what are the scenarios and the levels. If you are interested in that, you do have the link down below. Okay, the first link down below to join the Telegram community. Legends, remember that bluffing is one of my favorite platforms. This trade hopefully is going to make 100k at all-time high. I will be taking profits before, but it would be nice. Bluffing, awesome platform, guys. It has lots of liquidity, lots of tokens. They are actually one of the first exchanges to list tokens, you know, and you know, it's just, you do have an insane bonus down below of 20% cashback. Okay, 20% cashback on your initial deposit. You do have it in the pinned comment, guys, on the top of the comment, or it's the second link down below. Weeks is also a great alternative. You get a $1,000 position on Ethereum, guys, for free. Once you sign up with the link down below and you download the app, $1,000 position. Follow the steps, get that airdrop, okay? And also 25% fee reduction. It's another way to support the channel, guys, okay, as well. They are affiliate links, but you get the best bonuses. And yeah, you know, I do use all of the exchanges that I talk about. El Profesor Staffa1, much love to you, brother. It is Friday evening. Thank you very much. Are you closing out your short? Well, I mean, yeah, this you can leave some open, right? I'm not sure if you're talking about this short position. This short position had to be taken at the golden pocket 7/8 Fibonacci. Obviously, the point of control as you test the lows, point of control from yesterday is your take profit one. Why not leave some open, 30%, 40%, okay? Because, yeah, maybe this is a double 1-2, and you know, if this is a 1-2, 1-2, and you break down in a third wave, it is worth having a short at the golden pocket in 7/8 protected, right? It's a free trade. If you are in longs, you can have it as a hedge, but most of it's a scalp, right? Most of the profit should be taken, and leave some open just in case this doesn't reclaim the previous day point of control successfully, which is without a doubt a possibility. Right? It is a possibility. Why did my session volume profile delete? I have no idea why that happened. Right? If we do not reclaim this successfully, like breaking out big time, which is, it kind of wants to, it's wanting to, but you need a big push up. It's worth having the short from the previous day value high. It's just, why not? If, you know, we don't know if this is going to recover nicely. It might just have a fake out here and it's a double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 3, right? And everybody's like, what's going on? What's happened? But it was out, without a doubt, it was a very good sniper short that was given on today's video update in the Signals channel and in the Legends community. You know, TP1, the point of control, and potential TP2 is the higher low wick, previous month close, right? Anyway, much love to everybody, guys. It is Friday evening. The recovery, and for this to be corrective, we're reclaiming right now. It does look okay for the moment, it can be a 3-wave corrective structure. Getting here to the 0.88 Fibonacci from the last pivot high of today to the pivot low will be a very good bullish sign to take out the highs from yesterday, guys. So maybe it's going to be a complex WXY. It might continue the range throughout the weekend. Weekends are usually very rangy. Let's see. If we get it all the way up here to $117,000, probabilities will increase to take out these highs. And this is the same explanation on yesterday's setup. Yesterday, we talked about a couple of setups. One of them was a flat. And, you know, the flat did happen. We took out the lows with a bit of an aggressive wick down. But the reasons of believing that the highs are likely going to be taken is because of the rally getting so close to those highs, which is rare for a wave 2. You know, you wouldn't expect this to break down successfully. So you're looking at some kind of a flaggy pennant here. But, you know, this is why when we talk about the, you know, just imagine whoever FOMO'd into a long here, believing that this is a bull flag. Okay, hear me out here, guys. That this is a bull flag, right? Look at this. You can see, guys. Okay, bullish pennant. The breakout is going to be awesome. You look at this as the target zone, you get the pole, right? That's what some people do on YouTube, right? And you're looking for this. I am going to long extremely here because the target is $118,000, right? I'm longing the breakout from this bullish pennant, okay? And I'm putting my stop losses at the lows. Bang, bang. We talked about the triangle potential, but we talked about longing the higher low and be defensive. If you long in the triangle, long the higher low and be protective. And if you take out the low, don't worry, it's likely going to be a liquidity hunt and then come to the highs. This is why you want to long after the recovery back up. It was relatively quick, guys. So yeah, if you are longing that bullish pennant and you're using the flag pole as your target zone, well, that didn't play out very well yesterday, didn't it? Right? This analysis did not play out very nice, didn't it? It's just a massive, you know, liquidation event. And there are people getting into massive longs here at the highs with this stupid projection. You know, but what can we say? What can we say? We cannot get rid of them, guys. It is what it is. Much love to everybody for joining today on Friday evening, okay? The moon person does this. I'm not going to give any names. Staffer1, much love to you, brother. El Professor from Advanced Trader downgrades to Degen Trader. Agree, DG, much love. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? We don't need any indicators or any nothing, right? The main reason we talked about that, you know, it's just an education class, guys. Here, when you do form a decent correction and you start rallying here, and you get the big breakout, you are likely looking for, you know, a wave 4 if you're consolidating, especially if you get so close to the highs. This is like, it's likely going to break to higher levels. But then this is where you come as a trader. I always miss many trades, guys. It's part of the game. If we are rallying and I did not long the A, B, C, D, E, right? You would speculate that that's your E wave. Remember yesterday we were talking about 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, lower high, and 5. You know, that has to be it, guys. You don't need to touch the trend line. If you did not long here Long in here where the highs is, which is always a take profit zone. Absolutely not, guys. Absolutely not. If you go in with this being the projection, then good luck with that, right? You got burnt here. Well, depending, you might manage risk very well and it was just a few dollars, but it's just not the level to long for sure. And looking for that, I mean, this ended up in a 3-wave move structure. It is a 3-waver. You're looking for A, B, an aggressive, C wave down, sweep up the low. And, we were, Aiden did provide this setup in the Legends Pro community very nicely. Also looking at the VWAP, which did get the reaction. Get back above the VWAP also was an option on that wick. It's a liquidity grab. And obviously look for that, for the highs to be taken, right? It's just an ABC flat. And after such a big pump, you realize that a wave 4 is likely. So you're looking for the last leg up, which we can label as your wave 5. And that's why we come with the idea today that maybe this structure has finished locally here, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, an expanding 5th wave. Wave 4 did not overlap this pivot by a hair. So we realize, as this could have been the end structure, that we could have formed, this kind of momentum. Now, the most bullish case scenario is still active, guys. I have to say, it's just hitting levels of confirmation, as explained throughout the stream. The most bullish case scenario is still an option. It is still an option because you have not overlapped this pivot after finishing the wave 3 here. 1, 2, flat 1, 2. Second 1, 2 is a little bit larger, but we're going to give it an option. And your wave 4 here did not overlap with this pivot. And it's bouncing at the 50% from the wave low of 3 to the wave high 50%. Exact touch to the dollar. It is the zone that needs to hold. So maybe it is a wave 4 and 5 to finish your 3rd wave here. And then you consolidate throughout, the weekend. I don't think it's going to happen. Weekend is already near, unless we pump here throughout Friday and then another push up. It's not invalidated. And the moment that this will confirm is when you get almost to hit these highs. The moment you get all the way up here, if you rally back up here, then that's a confirmation that the probabilities is taking out this high at some point. So we want to be looking for opportunities in this zone, realizing that it is bullish, guys. Still, it is bullish, likely going to take out the highs. So we're probably going to get that in the weekend, and we'll be discussing that in the Telegram Signals channel. I already did a live stream this morning, says 𝗬𝗍𝘆, the legend himself. Are you doing a live stream, 𝗬𝗍𝘆? 𝗬𝗍𝘆, the absolute legend. 𝗬𝗍𝘆 is on the stream here for almost the entire stream. Much love to you, man. Indicators should not be a trading strategy. Instead, you can add an indicator as part of a trading strategy based on price action. Very well said. 𝗬𝗍𝘆, the genius. Talking, look at these tips over here in the comment section. Absolute legend, 𝗬𝗍𝘆. Shout out to you, my man. If you don't know who 𝗬𝗍𝘆 is, I haven't done a proper shout out, guys, to 𝗬𝗍𝘆, the legend. And I need to give a shout out to 𝗬𝗍𝘆. 𝗬𝗍𝘆 Trading, guys. If you don't know who he is, it's about time. It's about time. I'm going to leave you here in the comment section, guys. Make sure to go and check out 𝗬𝗍𝘆. Subscribe to the channel right away. He is in the comment section. It's this handsome dude right over here. Insane technical analysis and education. 𝗬𝗍𝘆 Trading. Also a coach in the Legends trading community. He's an absolute legend. 𝗬𝗍𝘆, the CEO. I need some socks to smoke during the weekend. Yes, sir. Best altcoins that are safe. There's nothing safe in crypto. You and 𝗬𝗍𝘆 provide so much priceless content to the crypto community, explaining each and every price action. You guys are awesome. Wow, Cyrus, 118. Thank you very much, man, for the kind words. I mean, yeah. And at the moment, Fartcoin Daily looks insane. Matthew, 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁. Man, I miss you. We need to get playing tennis here in Dubai. Get back here. Get your ass back here because it's time to play. Look, right at support. 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁, guys. Make sure to check him out. Insanely successful trader also. And he likes to short, you know, new tokens as well. The last epic short was, bro, I'm back in 2 weeks. There was a short. I can't remember the crypto right now. Was it Omni? I think Omni. Epic short on Omni. Massive short position. Insane gains. Shout out to you, brother. Go and check out 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁, guys. He's also an awesome, you know, crypto trader, educator. He talks about fundamentals, news. He's very complete. I'm like very technical and I focus on Elliott wave theory mainly. And obviously with levels, a lot of technical analysis. If you want more information, eventually you do have 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁. Me and Devil are very technical. CBM talks about news, fundamentals, you know, what's going on worldwide, analyzing the charts on the higher time frame. Very easy to follow and understand. See you soon, my man. Much love to you. Ethereum view. We did take a look at Ethereum. Not much to take a look at, guys. Thank you very much for joining today's stream. It is Friday. Make sure to enjoy with your friends and family, okay? I'm on my own in Dubai with the dogs. I got the missus back home, but she'll be coming in a few weeks because, you know, I'm missing the 𝗖𝗵𝗍𝗍, guys. So she needs to get back. Anyway, thank you very much, legends. Much love to you. All right. Remember, you got those insane bonuses down below. Okay. Either for bluffing. Bluffing is awesome, guys. Let's see if we can get to all-time high already so I can close this trade and make, you know, some insane profits. You got the best bonuses down below for bluffing. 20% cashback and $1,000 position on weeks. Okay. Also get 20% cashback. Check out the links, pin comment or down below, guys. Bluffing is the second link. Weeks is the fourth one. Get trading right away. Learn trading as well. Learn about probabilities. It can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Much love to everybody. Thank you for joining. I feel you, Andy. Staffer one. 𝗬𝗿𝗆𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 Sorry about that. That was a bad thing to say. Much love to everybody. Thank you for joining and subscribing and smashing up the like button. And I will see you. Guys, that like button, what's going on? Like button is down still. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.